Okay, this is the adductor pullback exercise. We're going to usually perform this exercise only on one side. Just follow your programming to determine which side that we want to do that on. So in this case, if I'm laying on my left side, I'll be working the right side adductor. That's kind of the target hip in this case. Our positioning is going to be 90 degrees at the hips. We're going to stack the shoulder in line with the hip here, and we want to make sure that we don't have any extension of this low back like that. We want a good rib tuck without our upper sternum crunching like that. So just a good rib tuck down, keeping our hip in line with our shoulder and our hips on top of each other. I have a little foam yoga block here. You don't need this, but typically if we have our feet raised a couple inches off the ground, that helps. And then a full foot contact with both feet on the wall. So those are key points. We have our hip in line with our shoulder. Hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked on top of each other. My head and neck are relaxed. I can use a pillow here if you'd like to. And then same thing, we have a full foot contact, both feet into the wall. I feel both big toes in the wall. I feel both heels into the wall. And I feel both inner arches of my foot in the wall. Now from here, I have a ball that I'm going to use to place between my knees. You can use a towel if you need to. You don't need to use anything at all if you don't have anything. But from here, I'm just going to practice moving my hip forward and then backward, stopping before my low back really gets involved. And again, keeping my full foot contact the entire time. From here, this is where the drill starts. What we're going to do is we're going to exhale through the mouth, like we're fogging a mirror. Exhale all the way out. Feel those ribs start to tuck and internally rotate through there. Hold that tension in your obliques. Inhale through the nose. That's going to be our breathing throughout this drill. So slow breaths in through the nose, long breaths long breaths out through the mouth, keeping our full foot contact and our hip and shoulder positioning. From here, we're going to pull our top hip back as far as we can before we start to get upper body involvement. Then from there, we're going to apply pressure directly down into that ball, maybe a 3 or a 4 out of 10 pressure there. You should feel your groin on this top side working hard. Otherwise, we want the rest of the body to be relatively relaxed. Okay. Another key point here is we want to keep our top side hip pulled down towards this wall where our feet are. So again, this is part of our setup positioning, is we have full foot contact, our hips are in line, our shoulders are stacked, but we also want to pull, or at least think about pulling that top hip down towards the wall there. Okay, that should create a little bit of space and oblique action here on this bottom side. So we're creating some space there, thinking about pulling that hip down, and then we can pull that hip down, pull this hip in, keep that in tension as we push down. I'm pushing down into the wall. So the whole time I'm pushing down, I'm pushing in, and I'm thinking about pushing this hip down towards the wall. From here, we do our breathing cycles. One breath is one rep. So nice and slow, keeping those ribs tucked. Go ahead, give it a shot.